Oh, it is our little ugly shiny Binacle. It's actually a shiny that I still need a second of, so that's good. Hopefully we can get a shiny tonight. We've had pretty good luck when it comes to the shinies from Spotlight Hour recently, so we'll see if we can keep that trend going. So, how's everybody doing tonight? Lost Players, Sub Jimmy, just want to let me know that you'll be hunting all night tonight, so no worries, dude. All good. Welcome in anyway. And goodbye, possibly. Yeah, how you doing today, dude? And everybody else? How are we all doing? Are we looking forward to tonight's Spotlight Hour? I mean, it is not the greatest Spotlight Hour in the world, but we'll see, we'll see. Hopefully we can get ourselves a little shiny boy. So it is also double catch candy for tonight for, yeah, the bonus. So if you are interested in stockpiling some Binacle candy, tonight's your night, I suppose. I'm not really sure if this is any good for anything, honestly. I don't think it is good for like PvP or raids or anything, so having double candy, probably not really worth it, but it is what it is. Anyway, switch that off and go into complete darkness and then start wandering around in the dark like a lunatic, because why not? Looking for ugly shinies. So yeah, for those that don't know, it's Bin. Good old Bin. And as you can see, yeah. Not a very nice shiny at all. It's one of those real ugly ones, but that's okay. We can still give it a crack. See how we go. I'm pretty sure I've clicked on all of these ones at the point, so let us go. Start walking. Got my keys, got my wallet, got everything. Alright. Let us do this. Yep. Come back, child. And everybody's very quiet so far. So I'll just continue talking to myself, that's okay. So it's a little bit chilly tonight. It's not too bad. They did predict that it was going to be raining, so fingers crossed the rain holds out. Oops. Because I don't want it to be raining. Rained a little bit earlier today, and then I checked the weather. I was just like, oh, please don't tell me it's going to be raining. And yeah, they said that supposedly it's going to be raining. Make sure I'm not... Oh, they put an extra pole in there now. Luckily, I didn't walk into a pole, because that would have been a little bit embarrassing on stream. Not that you guys can see it, but you would have heard it. You just would have heard, oh, ow, I just walked into a pole. So, today will also be a good day to stock up on some items. Hey, Evolution, how you doing, dude? Yeah, be able to com day on the weekend. How did everybody end up going on the hunting this shiny? Yeah, I still need one. I've already got one of them, so I do need a second one so we can do the evolution. No pun intended. The evolution. That's, fitting given that that's your name and all. So we're hunting the evolution. Be careful, dude. I'm coming for you. So yeah, as I said, it's also double catch candy tonight. So if you guys are interested in getting some double catch candy, just in general, it's just an ugly Pokemon. Ugly shiny, ugly Pokemon. Even the evolution is ugly. It's just one of those Pokemon that's just like... I highly doubt that, there's very many people in the world that'll say, that's my favorite Pokemon. Like, I highly believe that even Dunsparce would have more people that like it than this 420. Clapping for 420. And you're coming for me too. Oh no! I'll have to keep a lookout in the darkness. Just be like, what's that rustling in the bushes? Is that evolution? Is he coming for me? Dude, seriously, if you keep doing this, I'm just not going to bother catching. I'm trying to stock up on items after Com Day. So how did everybody end up going on Com Day? Oh my god, serious? Okay, whatever. This is the last ball, my friend. stupid bloody thing. So as I was, how did everybody end up going on Com Day? How many shinies did you end up with? Who got hundos? Who got shundos? Who got nundos? Oh, I can actually chuck something in this gym. Let's just put a shiny Axew. That'll do. Com Day was good. 43 degrees, hot weather. Ooh, mobile heating, but got 9 to 10 shinies and a lucky 98 non-try. Nice, dude. Nice. Congrats on your shiny. 600 XL. Yeah, I ended up with 600 plus XLs as well for my Axews. Oops, that one's in a gym. So, yep, that one's in a gym as well. My God. Yeah, 636 XLs. I did end up with over 3,000 candies, but of course I spent some doing some evolutions. I got like nearly 3 million XP as well for the day. So all in all, it ended up being a good day. Got a whole bunch of Stardust as well. So we're well over the 17 million. I was stuck in that 17 million Stardust for so long. But we finally broke the 17 million in 18 now. Getting crazy XLs on great and excellent throws. Yeah, and the good thing is with Axew, it was an easy excellent throw as well. So I was nailing him all day, which was good. You're going to have dinner and come back around. So when I finish up the stream, no worries, James. We'll see you at the end of the stream, then. So now that I'm walking, it's not too bad, cold weather-wise. My hands are a bit chilly. Oh, and I also been meaning to tell you guys, like, this is the first stream that I've done since Com Day. That night, I was out like at like 4:30 in the morning, looking at the stars. I think I saw a UFO, guys. Like, seriously. I was just like standing there looking at the stars, and out of the corner of my eye I just kept saw something like blinking every now and again, like every 10 to 20 seconds. Saw something, and it wasn't a plane, because I saw a plane like just before it, and it had like the blue and red flashing lights that you usually see on planes. But yeah, all of a sudden, just all the way out in the middle of nowhere, was like full, hey Diana, how you doing? Just saw this sort of white blinking thing in the sky. It looked like a star that was blinking, and yeah, every 10 to 20 seconds, it wasn't moving, it was just in the sky, and it was just blinking. And I was just like, I am actually seeing that. And I kept watching it. I watched it for a few minutes, and yeah, it kept blinking like every 10. It wasn't blinking like every 10 to 20 seconds. It was like just erratically sort of blinking in that 10 to 20 seconds. So it wasn't something that was like a uniform blinking that you would see on a plane or something. And then after a few minutes, it just disappeared. So I was like, okay. I think I just saw a UFO. I wasn't seeing things. Like, I was seeing things, but like I was literally seeing things. Like, it was there. It was actually there. It wasn't my imagination. What was that, Jimmy? Just a plane? No, it wasn't a plane. Like I said, it was only a few minutes before, like probably 5 or 10 minutes before I saw the flashing light. I did see a plane that was, but you can tell when it's a plane because, one, it's moving across the sky at a reasonable pace, and it's got blue and red flashing lights on it, so you can tell when something's a plane, sort of thing. But this thing, it wasn't moving. Like, it was moving, but like very, very, very slowly through the sky. It wasn't a satellite. because I see satellites all the time when I'm outside looking at stars and stuff like that. So I know what satellites look like, and I know what planes look like, and it was neither of them. So I'm not saying that it was aliens, but it was definitely a UFO, because it was an unidentified flying object. So it was just like, okay, that's interesting. Hopefully I don't get abducted or anything. No, like I said, like seeing a UFO doesn't necessarily mean that it's aliens. Like, it's just an unidentified flying object, which could be anything. It could have been just a bit of space debris that was just floating through space slowly, and it was just, as it was sort of rotating or something like that, it was just catching, like, glistening off the sun or something like that, and that's what was making it blink. Because like I said, it wasn't a uniformed blink, so it wasn't blinking like every 10 or 20 seconds. It was just blinking sometime in between that 10 or 20 seconds. So it was just erratically blinking and moving very slowly. So that makes me think that it wasn't space debris or a satellite or anything like that, just because it was moving way too slowly, or a plane for any of that stuff. So yeah, it was just an interesting thing that I saw, and I was just like, oh, okay, that's a thing. I'll have to remember to bring that up during my next stream so people can think that I'm a crazy person. Surprisingly, yes. Because I was telling my parents about it, and my mum goes, oh, that's funny, just because I saw somebody post on the residence page earlier today that they saw something, like they were asking if anybody saw something as well, but it was earlier in the day, or evening sort of thing, or it might have been the night before, I can't remember like what she exactly said, but it was like a red light sort of thing that somebody saw in the sky, whereas then I saw just a white light. So, yeah, interesting. Could have been nothing. Quite possibly, quite probably, was just nothing. It was, just a random thing that was unidentified. Like I said, I'm not saying that it was aliens or anything. I saw a mothership or UFOs with aliens in them. I just saw something in the sky that was unexplained. So there you go. That's my story. Take it for what it's worth. Aliens coming after Jimmy's shinies. No! Leave my shinies alone! I mean, I do have like over 2,000 of them at this point. Like 2,500 shinies. So I mean, I'm sure I could share with the aliens. If they want my shinies, sure. I'll be happy to trade a shiny with an alien. I'll get the alien equivalent of what a shiny Pokemon is. So they have Pokemon on their world, but it's called Kleeschlops. So you've got to catch them all, Kleeschlops. And yeah, it's a shiny Kalaflagalaga. And they'll get a shiny Axew. What has live streams changed? How so, dude? Like, what's different about the live stream? It looks the same to me, so I'm not sure what's going on. You'll have to... These things are just a pain in the ass to catch. I'm sick of wasting Pokeballs on them. Must be all the alien talk. They're like, no. Hey, Zachary, how you doing? Welcome in. Yours is the same. Oh, and Gibnox, how you doing, dude? Sorry, man, I didn't see you come in. How are you? How's everybody doing this evening? For those of you that just came into the chat, we're just talking about the UFO that I saw the other night, so... chime in with any sightings that you've seen, things in the sky that are unexplained, not necessarily aliens, just things that you've seen that are just like, oh, that's interesting. It's not my first time seeing something in the sky as well. When I was a kid, I saw something like out of the blinds through my window. It was like this green light that came down and then shot back up. Like, it was probably just fireworks, like somebody shooting off fireworks the street over or something like that, but I still remember it very vividly. There's just this green light going down and then up, which is something that you don't expect. And I was also at a music festival with a mate like 10 years ago, and we both saw something in the sky. So, yeah, interestings. I've seen multiple things. It's after my shinies. No. Like I said, as long as it's going to trade me a shiny or Gleezel Snorp, then I'm happy. Good old Gleezel Snorps. Yours has gone full screen, doesn't even have a like button. Oh, interesting. Is anybody else's live stream? I mean, Diana said it was the same for her, so I don't know. Like I said, for me, it looks the same. I've got the like button and yeah, my other phone, it looks the same to me, so I don't know. While we're talking about the like button and such, guys, make sure that you hit that thumbs up button if you haven't already. Gentle reminder. Reminder is what I meant to say. Maybe I was abducted. Maybe the aliens came and they did something and now I can't speak English. Nope, that's just me always. I can never speak English. You'll try reload it. Oh, good. It's a YouTube update version. Click on the right corner, 3 dots. From there you can change it. Ah, okay. Well, there you go. Evolution is just saying that it is an update, so it might be. Yeah, for me it's still the same, so I don't know what's going on. Maybe the update's only rolled out to like a few people sort of thing. Anyway, like I was saying, while we're talking about sightings and stuff like that, has anybody had anything interesting that they've seen that they would like to talk about? No judgment, we won't judge you guys. I just think it's funny because at the moment there's been a huge influx of like UFOs and stuff like that around the world. Like a lot of people have been seeing things. So it's just like, now I'm one of those people. Hello. Wait, this is... I'm being stalked by aliens. Ooh, breezy. Update it, it's been rolled out some countries and some devices. Mine usually just auto updates when there's like an update, so I don't think it would have rolled out to me yet or on my device, which is weird because I mean I've got an S21, so you'd think that given that it's a relatively new phone, leave my hair alone. You once saw someone you mean something, not someone, obviously, or maybe someone, 5 to 6 years ago. It was so beautiful, and you fell there. It was one of the best sightings I had. Okay, so you did meet somebody. Not that type of sighting. I meant an unexplained phenomenon. You don't know what's coming up like a short. You just quit the song you just listened to because you clicked the notification but reloaded it and it's normal now. Oh, okay, well, I don't know. YouTube's just being YouTube, I suppose. Update YouTube. I'm not going to do it now. I'm in the middle of streaming. It's a little bit difficult to update when you're using the app to stream. Like, it'll just end the stream. And I mean, I know you guys just want me to disappear and don't want me to stream and stuff like that. But afterwards, you mean? Are you sure? Are you sure that's what you mean? What you meant? I'm pretty sure you just want me to end the stream right now. I mean, I know I'm bad, but I'm not that bad. .666. It's the devil's Binacle. Of course it doesn't stay, because why would it stay? Because this thing is just such a pain in the butt to catch. I don't like it. Ah! Why are you such a D-hole? There we go. Oh my god, I can see something in the sky, guys. It's a really bright light. I think it's a plane. Yeah, that is definitely a planet. Not sure which planet. It's probably Venus. Maybe Mars. Probably Venus. It's a very loaded question, just because there's so many possibilities, sort of thing. And I believe that there is life out there in the universe. Obviously, we can't be the only thing. But do I think that aliens are coming to Earth and conspiring with governments to, you know, abduct people and all that sort of shit? Probably not, because why would they choose one government over another? It just doesn't make sense to me. Why would they care about our political, like, differences and all that sort of stuff enough to join a side and only conspire with the Americans or with the Russians or any of that sort of stuff? So yeah, I'm not really a big believer in the whole they're working with governments and they've got treaties to abduct people and all that sort of stuff. That just sounds a bit over the top to me. But whether or not some countries have crashed, you know, spaceships or whatever, like that's another thing. It's just like, well, who knows? I mean, there's a lot of people, like whistleblowers and stuff like that seem to believe so. Whether or not, like, I'll wait until evidence of that stuff actually comes out to make a decision. But I mean, there's definitely life out there. But I mean, it's like I said, a load of questions. There's so many different answers that you can choose from. Like, I'm a believer in, yes, there's life out there, not working with governments, but hey, they may have crashed here and governments may have technology. Who the hell knows? Is that enough of an answer? Jimmy forgot incense again. I don't think it's really worth wasting an incense for Binacle. So no, I didn't forget. I just didn't want to. Right. We are not alone for sure. Oh no, yeah. Like that's pretty much a given that we're not alone in the universe, just because if we were, to me, that's just an incredible waste of space. I mean, you got to think about the size of the universe. I mean, it's just unknown how big the universe actually is. And for us to be the only living things in something so big, it's just like, yeah, to me, that just seems like an awful waste of space. If aliens come to Earth, I see it as Independence Day. We were just talking like about, I had a sighting on the weekend after comedy, like that night. I saw something weird in the sky. Not saying that it was aliens or anything, but it was just an unidentified flying object thingy. So whether it was space debris or it wasn't a satellite or a plane, because we've already been over the fact that it was just moving too slowly and didn't have the right sort of flashing lights on it to be a plane. It was just erratically flashing white every now and again and moving very, very, very slowly across the sky. And it was way too high up for it to be a plane or anything. So, yeah, we're just discussing that. An interesting story from Australia about UFO and aliens. One of the dudes said that if we use Meltan box, shiny boost increase seems weird and senseless, but who knows? Wait, was that the UFO story? Nice job quoting Jodie Foster from Contact. God, I haven't seen that movie in a long time. I mean, I grew up watching the X-Files and stuff like that. Like, I was from that era of the 90s. Like, my sister was an absolute X-Files freak. She loved David Duchovny, thought he was the best thing on the planet. So every week she was watching the X-Files, and so was I. And I mean, Unsolved Mysteries, and that was on at the same time. So we had like the X-Files and Unsolved Mysteries like back to back. So yeah, I grew up through that era, watching all the alien stuff. But yeah, I mean, that's another story. Like I was saying, I highly doubt that aliens are working with governments, because I mean, why would they care? If they really wanted to abduct us, they would just do it. Why would they need permission from the US or any other country? Woo! X-Files, you missed the X-Files? Yeah. That was the 90s in a nutshell. Just the X-Files and Unsolved Mysteries and stuff like that. The 90s was a good era. We had a lot of good stuff. Good music, good TV shows. These days, it's all just reality TV show and crappy music. Aliens hate some government too, that means. Well, honestly, if they were here, sort of thing, like I said, I highly doubt that they would be working with any government. But maybe they're just here to watch us destroy ourselves, or maybe to help us prevent destroying ourselves. They see us as a race that has potential or something like that. So they're like, you know what? We're just going to keep an eye on these suicidal apes. You know, just over the top, wanting to throw rocks at each other, but fire them out of guns. Because, I mean, essentially that's all a gun is. It's just a technologically advanced way of throwing rocks at each other. Firing nukes and all that sort of stuff at each other. And they're just going to make sure that we don't destroy ourselves. They're like, you know what, if we give these crazy homicidal, suicidal apes, you know, a bit of a chance, maybe they'll develop the ability to get along with each other and travel the stars and all that sort of stuff. Who knows? Maybe Elon Musk is really an alien. SpaceX is just his attempt of going home. He's like the real ET. And they're not coming back for him because they're just like, let's just leave him here on Earth. And he's just like, screw you guys, I'm coming. So SpaceX is just his attempt of going home. Time travel might become possible. We'll be able to travel forward in time. I mean, the faster you travel, like closer to the speed of light, the more time dilation happens. So if we were to be able to travel at the speed of light and then come back to Earth, more time would pass on Earth than the people traveling at the speed of light. So essentially that would be traveling into the future. But traveling back in time, I don't think it's not out of the realms of possibility, but our understanding of physics and the way that time and space works and all that sort of stuff, because they're intertwined with each other, I can't see traveling back in time as being a thing. Because once things happen, they happen. For turning stuff back in time, for instance, you can't localize time travel sort of thing. So if you were to travel back in time, the whole universe would have to travel back in time. So if advanced species out there would like time traveling, we would probably know about it, because we would be really like, how would we know though? Because we wouldn't know if we're really, but yeah, I don't know. I don't think that time travel backwards in time will be a thing, just quietly. But who knows? Any shinies yet? Nah, we're giving it a shot, Aiden. We're halfway through, so we've still got time. But how you doing? Welcome in. Jodie Foster from Contact. I'll teach you one thing about the universe, though. The universe is a pretty big place. It's bigger than anything anyone has ever dreamed of before. And it gets bigger every day. I mean, every second that passes, the universe expands even further and further. So who knows? She knows. She knows. Who? Jodie Foster. Jodie Foster's really a time-traveling alien, guys. There, we solved it. Do we have Pokestops on Mars? Not yet. Who knows? No one's been there. So for all we know, there is Pokestops like everywhere. This is Olympus Mars. Mons, I should say, not Mars. Biggest volcano in the galaxy, in the solar system rather. My God, there's probably bigger volcanoes in the solar system. Oh my God, one of those things. Olympus Mons is the biggest volcano in our solar system. It's that big that you could start walking up the side of it, and it's that gradual, like the incline is that gradual that you don't even notice it, but you're slowly gaining altitude until you get to the top. All right, well, good luck on the rest of your hunt. You've got to decompress from dealing with a male version of a Karen. Not Kevin. Oh, good. Enjoy your decompression. She really just doesn't want to talk about it. She's like, all right, this conversation's a bit too crazy for me, so I'm gonna leave now. And I thought a male version of Karen was a Kyle, not a Kevin. We've had Kevins in the chat before, and they seem pretty cool. I mean, we've had Kyles too, but... Still no shiny. So I suppose we've already talked about the alien thing, so let's talk about some Ghibli ghosts or something. Has anybody seen anything like that before? Like a ghost, or had an encounter with something that is unexplained? Anybody seen a goblin? Or what are some other things? A werewolf? Or a vampire? You've heard a lot about them. But have you had any sort of unexplained things happen? Who knows? Maybe the ghosts are just aliens. You're glad you have not. I don't know. I'm a little skeptical on the whole ghost thing. I mean, I'm one of those people that has to see something to believe it myself. So, yeah, until I actually see something or experience something myself, I'm like, yeah, I don't know, show me the evidence. I'm a very show me the evidence type of person. Like, I've had a few weird things happen over the years, but nothing that can't be explained some other way, sort of thing. There's nothing that's been definitively just like, oh, that must have been a ghost or something. It was just, yeah, weird things happening, and it's just like, oh, okay, that's a bit strange. Moving on. Where am I from? Melbourne, Australia. I mean, I'm wandering around on a dark trail right now. Like, it's pitch black, as you guys can see, because you can't see me. And yeah, I'm just surrounded by a river and trees and stuff. It's just like, it could be anything lurking around here. We have so horrible stories and proof here in India, and many YouTubers tell us about them too. Yeah, but you can't believe anything you see on YouTube just because people are just looking for views. So there are people that like, same with TikTok, any of those TikTok videos where you people are just trying to show videos of their haunted houses and stuff like that, 99.9% of them are going to be faked just because people will watch that stuff. So if it's going to generate views, like, people just do anything for views these days, and they lie through their teeth when it comes to stuff like that. So I'm not saying that it's all fake, but 99.9% of it is going to be fake. Just because, you know, that's just the way that it is on social media and stuff these days. And there's a lot of channels that are based around that sort of stuff. Like, that's what their channel is, going to haunted places or just making haunted videos, like I said, of their home or something like that. So it's what they do for work. It's what they do for... So, of course, they're going to fake stuff just because if they didn't, nobody would watch. And so they've got to... I mean, it's the same with any of those ghost shows that you see on TLC or any of the other channels. It's just like, it's all just faked just because they've got to generate views. Otherwise, the shows don't exist. People don't watch it if nothing's happening. Like, I've always had that. Like, that's one thing that I've sort of thought about doing on a YouTube channel. Going into places, like, there's already like a couple of guys that I do watch that had their own channels that was just based around like weird mysteries and all that sort of stuff. They came together and they actually did start going on like ghost hunting stuff, but they're actually like believable because they are skeptics themselves. So they're going to these places and they're like, we don't really believe in this stuff, but we're just going to see if, you know, things will actually happen and all that sort of stuff. And they've had some weird things happening, but they're still fairly skeptical about stuff because they're like, we haven't really seen anything. I mean, there's just been a few unexplained things that have happened and all that sort of stuff. So that's the type of thing that I've thought about doing, going in with a full skeptics position and just being like, hey, if nothing happens, nothing happens, but I'm not going to fake it just for views, sort of thing. We have sorry, I already read that one. Not on YouTube. We have some incidents from our neighbors. Okay. I mean, yeah, if you're getting stuff like that from people, take it with a grain of salt, just because you didn't see it yourself, and everybody's going to interpret things differently. So, again, I'm not the type of person that's going to take anybody else's account 100%. I'll be like, okay, I acknowledge what you're saying, but I'm not going to sort of believe it until I see it myself. Can I add you as a friend? I usually add people on, tomorrow night on Wednesdays for raid hours. So if you pop into tomorrow night's stream, same time as tonight, I will be happy to add you then for some raids and stuff like that. But in general, I usually save the space on my friends list for either members of the channel or, yeah, people during raid hours and stuff. Just don't do that, Jimmy. It's not a thing we need to get into. I'm back, sick of iPhone, can't watch YouTube and message people on Messenger like Android with chat bubble. Yeah, Apple's always been different. They like to do things their own way. That's why I don't like Apple. Android is just a lot better. Might not be as stable as iOS. I mean, but the reason why it's not as stable is because it's usually pretty open-ended and lets people do stuff, whereas in iOS are locked to their own ways of doing things. But we've still got 20 minutes left to try and get this shiny. So we're almost back at the start of the trail. It's funny, it's taken me 40 minutes to do a lap around here on the weekend, on Saturday during Com Day. It took me an hour and a half to do a whole lap because of how much I was stopping to catch the Axews. Apple, nah, I hate Apple. But I grew up in an era where Macintosh, which Apple is called, were just garbage. So yeah, I've always just not been a fan of Apple, and still not a fan. It's just overpriced garbage, like way overpriced. I mean, look at the new Apple VR, like AR goggles sort of thing, like $3,500. But it's just like, yeah, nah. Yeah, I think I'll pass on that one. Thanks, Apple. You've only been on Apple for the past 3 years, and it's, yeah, I'm just not a fan of Apple. I'm a PC Android person. Yep, they sure are. They're built differently, alright. But like I said, most things are locked on, like, because Apple like to do everything themselves. So things are locked to iOS and stuff like that, whereas in Android is a lot more open. That's why most things that you see come out on Android first before they go to, like, not everything, like some things are designed to work on iOS more. But yeah, just in general, like being a gamer and all that sort of stuff, I mean, gaming has always been easier and better on a PC over a Mac. Just because if you buy a Mac computer, it's like a thing. Like the whole thing is just a Mac, and you can't really interchange parts and all that sort of stuff unless it's with more Mac stuff. Whereas in a PC, you can build it up yourself. You can, you know, mix and match parts and get graphics cards and motherboards and different RAM and all that sort of stuff. So to me, that's just always been more appealing than just buying an outright, you know, iMac or something like that. So different that it fell on a crazy person's head. And that crazy person's name was Steve Jobs. Exactly, yeah, you can't even put the codes into Pokemon Go and get the free stuff. I mean, usually they do make it that you can still get the free stuff, but you have to go to a website to do it, to redeem your stuff. You can't just do it through the shop like you can on Android. Come on, little dude, we're running out of time. Yeah, but you still have to go to a separate place. Why can't you just do it through the store like you can on a... Because Apple are silly. They don't want you being able to do stuff like that. That's a really clear night. There is a lot of stars out. Don't know if you, like... no, you guys can't. I didn't think you were going to be able to. I was trying to point the camera at the sky so you guys could see all the stars. And potentially aliens. More UFOs. I'm just talking about mobile games like Pokemon Go and Apex. Most things are designed for like Android first though. Just because Android's just an easier platform to design stuff for. Because like I said, it's so open. Like you get SDKs and stuff like that, which are system development kits and stuff for Android over iOS, so things can be designed for Android a lot easier than they can be for Apple. The privacy Apple provides is just a lot better than Android. Yeah, it's not really privacy, it's security. But I mean, it's much of a muchness. All your like every phone is spying on you. It doesn't matter what brand it is. Apple phones are spying on you just as much as Androids are. They're all collecting your location data and they're all tracking you 24/7. So I mean, what's really security when you're in like privacy when your phone carrier and the company that makes the phone and all that sort of stuff knows exactly where you are at any given second of the day? Might be harder for people, like other people, to hack your phone, but if you're still being watched, it's not really privacy, is it? You got no, exactly. Yeah, you're being watched 24/7. Like even if you're running VPNs and stuff like that, the simple fact that your phone is communicating with a cell tower at any given time, it's got, like I was watching something the other day where Edward Snowden was actually talking about it, and he goes, there's two different things that are on your phone. I can't remember what he was calling them, but basically there's your SIM card and then the phone itself, which are identifying themselves with any cell tower like every second of the day sort of thing. And the fact that your SIM code is locked to your number and all that sort of stuff, it doesn't matter if you're running VPNs, it doesn't matter if you're running, any sort of privacy stuff on your phone, they know who you are because your name is linked to that phone account and all that sort of stuff. So even if you're trying to be secretive and private and all that sort of stuff, they still know who you are because your phone is identifying itself. And that number that is like built into your handset is, every number is different for every phone sort of thing. Like not phone number, just the serial number on your phone, for the lack of a better word. So they know who owns that phone because that phone is linked to your phone account, like because of your SIM card and all that sort of stuff. So they can still identify you no matter where you are and how private you're trying to be. So he's actually saying that that's why most CIA agents will own older phones, like the old Nokias and stuff like that, because you can actually take the batteries out of them, and any phone that you can take the battery out of is essentially a phone that won't be transmitting with a cell tower or anything like that, because it's got no power. And that's the key fundamental of any electronic. It needs power of some description. So as long as your battery is built into the phone, even if the phone is turned off, it can still be communicating with a cell tower and giving your location away. So yeah, CIA operatives will use older phones because they can actually get privacy off of them. Key paid phones is in like burner phones and stuff like that. "10 minutes. Come on, little dude. Sparkle, sparkle." A few years back, your mate had an older phone, and he told me he couldn't break it, so he threw it on the floor and it broke. I can still remember, God, it's probably like 20 years ago now, when we had the old bricks, like the old Nokias and stuff like that. A guy that we knew, we were standing in my mate's lounge room, and he had the phone, and he threw it as hard as he could against the wall, and it just exploded into like a million pieces. Like I can't remember why he did it. It wasn't because he was he was trying to break it, but it was for a reason. And yeah, he just piffed it against the wall. It basically like hit the fireplace, like part of the wall next to the fireplace, and just exploded into like millions of bits. Come on, little shiny. You know you want to be shiny. You know you want to be. Come on. Do it for the UFOs. Maybe that's why I'm not getting a shiny, because the UFOs are controlling it, dude. They're making sure I'm not going to get the shiny. They're just like, shh, he's onto us. Gotta make sure he doesn't get a shiny. Or maybe it's the CIA. Hey, can we get a shiny? Shiny Kecleon. Get off the stop, bro. Shiny Kecleon? That's not a Kecleon. Shiny Kecleon? That's not what I'm... Shiny Kecleon? No, unfortunately. One of these days. It's one of those shinies that's really difficult to get because you just don't encounter them very often. One of these days we'll get one. But I see them fairly, not regular basis, but that's the second one that I've seen in the last couple of days. I saw one on Saturday as well during Com Day. Yes. I don't want to battle you. I want my shiny. Give me a shiny. Yes, I don't know if you guys saw it, but the other day Bethesda did its showcase for the new game they're releasing. I almost called it Starlink. That's not Starlink, Starfield rather. Yeah, it looks pretty good. It looks very good. Basically what No Man's Sky should have been. Yeah, it's like a very advanced version of No Man's Sky. But it looks very good. What type of game? Like first person RPG. I suppose you can play it in third person as well. So basically just an RPG. So it's like Skyrim and Fallout, but it's basically No Man's Sky. So it's space. And you can travel to like thousands of different planets and RPG your way through thousands of different planets. No, it looks really good. I definitely suggest looking it up. Releases in a few months, releases in September. Yeah, it looks really, really, really good. So definitely going to be playing it, and more than likely be playing it on the channel. Because Twitch is sort of dying. If you guys also saw, Twitch did some dumb shit the other day where they were going to basically outlaw a lot of the like sponsorships and stuff like that people had on their platform because they wanted all the money for themselves. They only wanted you to be able to use sort of stuff that's going through Twitch. So a lot of people were just like, all right, we're out sort of thing. We're going to give up Twitch and go to other platforms if they're going to do this sort of stuff. So they quickly like backtracked and were like, oh yeah, sorry, this probably wasn't a good idea, we're not going to do this anymore. But I think it's already too late. Like, people have just lost trust with Twitch because it's not the first time that they've done stuff like that. So yeah, I think we'll just concentrate on doing other things on the channel these days rather than trying to move it over to a Twitch channel as well. You don't know much about Twitch. You probably don't need to, because it's probably going to die off in the next couple of years, because it's run by a bunch of very stupid people that are just very greedy, trying to dig their pocket. Like, they already take, I think it's 50% of any streamer's earnings. So any subs that you get and stuff like that on Twitch, basically they're taking 50% of. So it's like an even 50-50 split between the streamers and Twitch. Whereas in YouTube's like a 70-30, where they only take 30%. I mean, it's still 30% of your earnings, but it's not as intrusive. You still earn the majority of what you earn. So sponsorships were basically the only thing on Twitch that people had 100% control over themselves. So they got all the money, and Twitch didn't like that because they wanted their piece of the pie as well. So they were trying to basically ban third-party sponsorships and just have it that if you wanted sponsorships, you had to go through their sponsorship program, like the sponsors that they had okayed. You had to choose from like one of them so they could take their cut from it as well. And a lot of people were just like, no ways, Twitch. You already take enough of our money. We're not going to give you more. Use Twitch just to take your live streams from Xbox to YouTube. Yeah, I used to do Twitch stuff. Anything that wasn't sort of Pokemon related. Like back during the COVID stuff, I did a lot of Doom and like I was playing the Forest with a couple of the PokeTubers like Holly and Nick and stuff like that, and playing Rust and all that sort of stuff as well. So we had that going for a while, but then I just sort of stopped doing stuff on Twitch because I was just like, I hate being on two different platforms. It's like I'm not big enough on either of the platforms for me to feel like I should be on two platforms. So yeah, sort of just concentrated on doing the Pokemon stuff on YouTube. But now that that's sort of dying off a bit because of everything that Niantic's done and just the fact that the game just isn't as popular as it used to be, I'll probably start branching out and doing more stuff on the YouTube channel. So I've already been thinking of doing like Tears of the Kingdom and, like I said, Starfield when that comes out. Might do a Cyberpunk playthrough because the new DLC for that comes out in September as well, which looks pretty good. I agree, every platform is doing stupid stuff because it's run by people that don't really understand the platform and the people that are on it. But Twitch seems to be the front runner when it comes to stupidity and screwing over their community and stuff like that. So the problem with GTA 5 is, one, I mean, it's still a popular game, but I mean, it's a bit old now. But it's got a lot of, like, the music in it, it's all copyrighted music. So you basically have to play it without being able to listen to music or anything because of all the copyrighted music. There's a lot of reasons why streaming that on YouTube would just be difficult. So games like that are more suited for Twitch just because Twitch doesn't have the same sort of copyright issues when it comes to music and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, there's just a few things. Like, YouTube doesn't really like the violence and the nudity and all that sort of stuff, and some of the other themes that you get in GTA. Like, you can still do it. Like, I've seen a lot of other YouTubers doing it and stuff like that, but it's one of those things that it's a little bit difficult to do for multiple reasons. But also, saying that, Cyberpunk's got a lot of the same sort of things. I mean, there's nudity and violence and music that's copyrighted, but at least not the whole bloody soundtrack. Oh, there we go. It's done, guys. No shiny for us tonight. Boo. Don't like it. It's alright. Like I said, we've already got the shiny, so getting a second one would have been nice, but at least it wasn't a complete failure. I mean, it was, but it wasn't at the same time. You can get a copyright from music you don't play, but sorry, it matched a little on YouTube. That's a little weird. It really depends. I mean, a lot of the music in GTA, for instance, because it's actual music that they play on the radio and, you know, like popular music and stuff, that is more likely to get copyright claimed just because it's actual music. But a lot of other games, they either have streamer mode where you can turn off a lot of the copyrighted music, so that stuff doesn't play, or the music is just sort of that obscure that it doesn't really get picked up by the bots, because it's usually bots that are flagging the music. So a lot of the big record companies will just have bots that just troll videos on YouTube and just looking for you know, anybody that's playing that music in their videos, so they can instantly copyright claim it. Oh, you just missed that puddle. Twitch is the king of stupid platforms. Yeah. That's how your channel started, modding GTA 5. Oh, I need a tissue. Right stuff more than GTA, only because I'm guessing you meant you turned off the music in GTA 5. Yeah, you would have to do that. You'd have to turn it off. Like, you can still play music in the background, sort of thing, like that's not copyrighted music over GTA. But I mean, part of the GTA thing is the music and like the radio stations and stuff like that. That's, you know, a lot of funny stuff. I suppose at least on the PC version, they do have your own radio station stuff where you can play your own music but on your computer downloaded. You can't just have it on a streaming thing. If I could link it into a streaming thing, and my internet's lagging. Daily incense time. I suppose we could chuck one on. Oh my god, it's 1,000 CP actually. Now that excellent throw. Dude, don't you want to be my friend? I need more action candy. I didn't get enough on the weekend. Minecraft. I feel like the whole second Minecraft coming sort of thing, like the resurgence of Minecraft is over again now. So it's like you can do Minecraft stuff, but I feel like it just doesn't have the same draw that it did a few years back when a couple of the bigger YouTubers like Pewds and Jack and that were also playing it, because that seemed to contribute to the whole resurgence of, like, it's still got views. Like, there's still a lot of focus channels, like Minecraft focus channels, but I don't know. The problem with Minecraft is I'm one of those builder people that likes to build all the machines, like the automated farms and all that sort of stuff. And I don't think people would be very interested in watching me just build an iron farm or a wood farm, or, you know, any sort of the farms or something like that. Digging massive, because when I was playing Minecraft, I was the type of person that didn't like stuff above ground, so I wouldn't have, you know, all my machines and farms and stuff like that above ground. They were all underground, so I'd have to dig massive holes out and then build this farm underground. You're shit at Minecraft. You can't really be bad at Minecraft. It's one of those games where you just play. I mean, there's no being good or bad at it. It's not like it's a challenging game at all. I mean, it can be, if you're playing on hardcore, it can be challenging. And I think that's a lot of people want to see people playing it on hardcore as well, which I'm just another axe you. I'm just not that person. Type of person that'll fall off a really high ledge in the first hour of playing and die and just be like, well, that's my playthrough done. And I don't like the thought of putting thousands of hours into like building stuff just to have it taken away from you in like one swoop. Minecraft is a game which never dies. Every update it comes out to a new dark, like Undertaker coming to life again. It's a good game. I mean, I haven't played it in ages. I have to get back into remembering how to play it properly. Yeah, but I'm very finicky when it comes to like Minecraft. Like when I first started playing it, I had to find my perfect spot to build like near a village so I could kidnap villagers and build like villager farms and stuff like that, like breeding farms. And I like to set the game up my way as well, so I'll like hack into it so I can change like the center location, because there's like one cell in the game, like your starting cell in the game, wherever that is active at all times. So there's certain farms that you have to build in that starting cell. Otherwise, as soon as you move out of visual range of it, like any farm that's built in it will just shut down until you come back within range of it. So like I like to move that starting location to wherever I'm going to build my base, just so farms that I build in that part will stay active while I'm out exploring and doing stuff. Hey James, welcome back, dude. Welcome. You have a laptop, you need a good PC, you love that game though. No, I haven't played it a lot from ages. Yeah, I haven't played it in ages either. It's been quite a while since I did some Minecraft stuff. I played Minecraft a couple of times on the channel, but it was nothing too significant. I basically just jumped into the world that I had from ages ago and just showed people around some of the stuff that I built, and that was about it. Finding perfect house place is different kind of tension in Minecraft. Yeah, it took me ages to finally find, like, in my world that I had. It was pretty close to a village, and I built like just outside the village, and it was like a one-story house above land, like above the ground, but as soon as like I had a staircase in my house that you'd go down, and I had all my storage sort of underground and a couple of farms, and then it just branched out into like because I built in like the perfect space where I had a mine like right underneath my house that I didn't know was there. So I basically built into the mine and had all my farms sort of linked off into different locations, and everything was connected with water, escalators, and yeah, a whole bunch of awesome stuff. It took me ages to build the whole thing, but I had heaps of different little things set up in it. Had my own train system basically that would, anything that was built like a distance away, like I took over one of the water temples sort of thing, like cleared it out and built, it was like miles and miles and miles away from my base, but I built like a train service to it so I could just jump into Minecraft and just be jetted to this. I didn't have to fly there or anything. I could just automatically jump into Minecraft and just have it take me there. Java's better. Like if you want to, like I was talking about, like building any of the farms, like automated farms and stuff like that, Java is better. Because there's stuff that you can do on the Java version that you can't do in Bedrock. Like when it comes to the redstone machines stuff. Yeah, Java is the better version. Traveling along, playing alone, forgetting your house location was the worst. Yeah, see, that's another thing. It's like you always got to remember your coordinates for your house. And like I said, if you move that starting location, you can basically just die, and it'll just take you back to your house if you ever do lose it. So I also turned it on that I wouldn't lose my items when dying, because that was just one thing that I was just like, nope, keeping my items so I can easily just die and just go back home if I need to. You got it for free. I'm pretty sure it's vice versa. You can get the Bedrock version as well if you've got Java, because everything it goes through the Microsoft part of it now. So if you had Java, basically you have to play it through the same launcher that you would Bedrock. So I'm pretty sure you have access to both of them. No, you can just turn that off. I guess one of the options that you can turn off, that you won't lose anything when you die if you don't want to. So yeah, I just set my stuff to be like that. Just like, nope, gonna keep everything if I die. No one's ever told you that. If you go into the set, like when you're setting up your world, in the cheats, because there's a section where you can turn it on so you can use cheats or not if you want. I'm pretty sure it's in that section where you can just set it that it won't turn your stuff off, or won't get rid of your stuff if you die. But you can also do it through the actual files for your saved world. Like if you just open up the main file in Notepad, it's just got a whole bunch of different settings that are marked with either a 0 or a 1, which means yes or no, and one of them is just like keep items after death, and you just change that to thing like 1 or 0. I can't remember which one. I think it's 0. Basically, oh no, 1, because yeah, that'll be yes, and you can just keep your items. You purchased mobile version, but still had to purchase Java, right? I don't know. I think if you had the mobile version Java, because that's PC, you would still have to buy it. I'm not actually sure though. It's been a long time since I played it. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. They're both different. I think it's just Bedrock and Java. If you own either one of them, you got the other one for free once they were put into the same launcher when Microsoft took control. No, it doesn't come through Steam. Oh, it might come through Steam these days, but it's Microsoft games, so they have it through their Microsoft thing, so you have to actually download it from Microsoft. When I originally bought it, it was from the actual Minecraft website, so it was from Mojang, not Microsoft, but then Microsoft bought out Mojang, or bought Minecraft. So they put it all into the same launcher, so you just download it from the actual Microsoft, I almost said Minecraft store, the Microsoft store. I think Mojang will just direct you to Microsoft. Like if you've got Windows on your computer, you can just go to the Microsoft store and it'll be on there. Okay, so you can still get it from Mojang as well. Okay. I've been seeing so many dust docks lately. Like since the season changed, it's like one of those things that this is like the 5th or 6th one that I've seen over the last couple of weeks. All this talk of Minecraft is making me want to play it. Not gonna lie. Oh my god, seriously. I didn't grow up with it though. I was already grown by the time Minecraft came out, and honestly, I didn't start playing it until only a few years ago. It was one of those games that I told myself that I would never play, I was like, nah, I'm never going to play Minecraft. It's not really my thing. And then I watched some of the other YouTubers that I watch play it sort of thing. And I was like, you know what? This game actually looks all right. I'm going to play it. So I jumped in and spent quite a few hours playing it in my own world, building my own things. Like I said, I'm all about the automated stuff. So I like building like my automated farms, like putting an immense amount of work into like building an automated farm. Like my iron farm, my automated iron farm that I built, I dug a hole out of the ground that was like, what was it? It was like 64 levels deep and probably about 50 by 50 wide. So it was just this massive hole that took me like 3 days to dig out. And then I sort of built my iron farm inside this massive hole just so it could be underground. I did that with like my slime farm and a whole bunch of other stuff as well. Like everything was underground. So anything that I wanted to build would take me ages because I'd have to, and like when I dug that out, I didn't have any diamond like tools or anything. So I was digging out this massive hole with like iron pickaxes. So that's why it took me so long. So yeah, after that, I made it a point to build up some diamond stuff and get the villagers that would sell me mending and efficiency and all that sort of stuff, so I could put like those on my pickaxes so I could actually dig stuff out properly. Did I get the shiny? No, unfortunately not tonight. I do have a shiny Binacle already from a while back, but tonight unfortunately we did not get one. You'll build an iron farm now. They take a long time because you got to have access to a whole bunch of iron to begin with, because you got to build the golems, the iron golems, just because they're part of the farm, because you need to be able to make them want to attack the zombies and stuff. And yeah, there's probably an updated version of doing it now, because it sort of changes as the versions change, just because some things stop working, so you've got to like rebuild it a different way. But yeah, back when I built mine, I had to have a whole bunch of iron golems in the walls. Oh no, that was for the slime farm, because the slimes were attracted to the iron golems, so they'd jump on the lava and die, and then you'd pick up the slimes. For the iron farm, I had to put a whole bunch of villagers in this tiny, like in a one cell like block area, and then put a zombie in a cauldron and block it off so it couldn't get out, but it was close enough to the villagers that once they freaked out, they would spawn an iron golem, but they had to be like basically a village underground, so you had to give them jobs and everything, and it was a big stuff around to finally get them in, because like I said, I built it underground in the middle of the air, so I had to build like little walkways up to like, and try and lead the villagers into the area, and it was such a pain in the ass. It took me so long to do. You build a farm and have a farmer wants a wife Minecraft edition. That was always something that weirded me out. When you had like the villagers, like they're gender specific, but they basically look like dudes. So you'd have like dudes breeding with each other, and you'd just be like, what? How are they having babies? And I always hated the baby villagers. There's just something about those baby villagers that just makes me want to punch them. I'm just like, I hate them so much. No, I had like, my villager breeder was basically like this little farm that they would all work on, and then when they'd breed with each other, the little babies could run into the hole and then get into like water columns, and the columns would push them down into like this big pit in the ground where they would fall in, and all I had like thousands of villagers just falling down into this massive pit, and every time I wanted one, like I said, I set up like a train system, so I'd be able to press a button and a mine cart would go and pick one up and then take them all the way back to like my central hub, and then from my central hub I'd be able to put them into another mine cart rather, and ship them off to whichever farm I wanted them in. So it was like this full system that took me so long to set up because I wanted everything to be automated.